Guys, Edgy going to win and Edgy on the match. জিতে গেছে Edgy, আমি জানতাম, গ্যাস করছিলাম Edgy জিতবে and Edgy জিতে গেছে। নাইস। Guys, Edgy তরফ থেকে একটা জোস কামব্যাক। Edgy is fire, totally fire, without any doubt. Nice gameplay from Edgy. Let's wait for the next round, guys. First time I'm FFWC live reaction দিতে যাচ্ছি, guys. And Edgy জিতে নিল first match. Edgy on the first one. That's good. Bro, R7, TSV. Guys, are they gonna give me copyright for this live telecast? I'm doing YouTube live stream on off YouTube.
well-deserved Team of the Day on day 1. But despite all the upsets and surprises that is happening in FFWS, that does not change the fate for some teams like Red Hawks, Red Cliffs, Hotshot, and Clear Vision who are still falling behind in point.
Well, 1 week for them. One last sprint to the grand final.
In the face of uncertainty,
it is going to be a 1v1 on both ends. Cypher onto beating SB.
I hope guys you can
And he's winning out that trade. Beating SB with an inhaler. Trying to relocate. But Cypher is a bit quicker on his feet. And that's a takedown.
And Paum right now
There's some issue, sorry for that.
flies away and seems like he'll be able to manage to go away.
As a region. Bob's, I think, is quite a surprising number, even though we did say that he loves the grenade launcher, but to see him as a top damage dealer. It's shocking, in a good way.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and you did mention that this is where M79 is really proving a point in this game. And both Bobs and Jonah have been using that specific weapon, and they are bringing a lot of damage. So I won't be surprised with next season, if not next few games, M79 would be used by a lot of teams, and more chaos would be found into Battlefield.
But you're taking down Paum, so another point on the belt of Evil's Divine. It's also to reinforce your point about the elimination leader. We actually got a glimpse of it on the screen. I believe Cypher, like you mentioned, still in the lead by a mile. I mean, he clocked in 11 takedowns in the previous game. That should set him apart from the pack, from the hurt. Movistar R7 reeling. There's only one member left. E1 gets a full revive. So most of the teams taking it slow, looks so encroaching onto Evil's Divine territory for the second time this match.
Well, Aceto, now we are seeing as well as R7 slowly revive the full squad. And I didn't expect Solara to be this slow in taking down one opponent, but you know for a fact that the elimination is not as slow, even the engagement is not as low. Now, Fluxor right now, the challenge of Evos is getting near, but good enough on them. They managed to get an arsenal that's 45 their front, and MT7 is still on standby just in case anyone from Evos comes up.
They put out a hit list onto AG Global early on, so AG Global, if they take that challenge, it's going to get very messy.
Alright, here we go.
MT7
There
makes
we go,
sure
the
that
headshot.
if there's any business to be done with Evo's Divine, he's going to be the one that comes out on top of that deal. Aim God will now need rescuing from Kochu. As the storm forms around where Ffwc is, they will give some respite for Evo's Divine, but Ffwc wants to finish what they have started, and Geo plus MT7 puts in the 1-for-1, and that's 2 hit start points for Ffwc.
Now let's see Evo's back away out from the lightning zone, and Ray managed to use a launch pad just to get away from Ffwc. But right now, seems like
we can see the Evos are here, right here. And there is only, I think, no, where's the Evos? I guess I can see the Evos. Yeah, there's the Evos full.
because Bloomtown is occupied by 3 remaining players that is just waiting on Russia.
So the hit list on AG Global was actually from RRQ. No wonder they didn't pursue Ffwc, but they came dangerously close. And AG Global decides to back off, and they are the ones that set out a bounty for Leon. So Ffwc really breathing a sigh of relief as On Fire now engages onto the heavy. Mufasa gets picked back up. Alan also trying to Weezer, needs a bit of help. Don't try, ends up going down to DN. GOW from a separate angle, making life for heavy a bit more complicated as they relocate with the launch pad, push themselves in safe hands of the compound. But there is a chance that they get sandwiched by Team Solid.
Now let's see, Team Solid really moves, and that would be not looking good. That would not look good for Heavy at this point. Waterfall, a good spot as well, because the vending machine would be there in case one of the players will be taken down. As long as you have enough Free Fire coins, then you can always bring this back. But for Bitten 9 alone, despite Leon in a good view to take down any contending him, but he's still out in the open, and Bitten 9 will need to survive. Aimcod tries to do so, hit by Leon, and now back away. So Eva's control this compound, holding them back, and Riptide Rhythm would clear the way, but there's still a little bit cover for E1.
Everyone didn't really have much time to recover because they have been on a revival spree. Bitten 9 finally forced off of the roof. And now Evos are hunting for blood. Bitten 9 get the heal up in time. Evos takes the corner, and that's another point for Evos. As RQ also joins the feed. With takedowns onto Heavy. RQ is the one coming out on top. The Indonesians are coming to life. Just what we ordered, just what the crowd have been wanting since the start of the evening.
And 2 eliminations already, and Maal with an RGS might be able to damage those players from Heavy, but they need to be cautious because Team Solid is just next to them. And well, not quite sure what movement they have to do at this point because they're in the middle of the zone and there's not so much that they can do. And most of the time, if you're in the middle, you move like fan out towards the edge. That's where you met more trouble. So I guess what they have to do just now is defend themselves and make sure that no one from either Team Solid will be able to go against them.
So that Cryo Mine being tossed out too. The blue zone will start engulfing some of these squads. PE Sports will have to consider that next move. As Evos goes deeper into the safety of the zone, Ffwc once again avoids any kind of confrontation, but there is a possibility they run into AG Global. Heavy getting wiped off the game. In 12th spot, Vietnam Titans haven't been finding any signs of life.
Well, Evos right now managed to reduce the number of E1 Sports back to 1. We'll see if E1 can still fight it off. Seems like a long shot already, especially with how things are going for this team. But for Evos Divine, 5 elimination, it's a little bit slow though, compared to what we expect them. But if they're not surviving longer, I guess this is a good plan for them. Just wait for that opportunity to get in the latter part. But going into RQ right now, finally a battle, but a triangle battle between them and Team Solid as well as PE Sports in these specific compounds. We've seen 2 cryo mines being used, and I guess information has been revealed already. Now, there's no movement that is needed, especially as they are dead smack in the middle of the next phase.
See that Dinoculus scan on the radar too. See the Ffwc AG Global who scan Archway, and that could be that faithful rematch. from Clash Squad yesterday. We'll check in on that in just a little bit because this three-way fight might be a possibility with RRQ, PE, and Team Solid. Whoop, another Cryo Mine comes through. That flushing easily taken care of by RRQ as they continue to hold down the fort. And now it is destined that the Brazilians and the AG Global from Thailand are going to get in a gunfight. But Ffwc says, not this time. We're going to back off.
Yeah, I mean, probably they're tracking where AG is rotating, and similar to how they are facing the next phase or each phase of the safe zone, and that's where they found AG. Expecting that also they lost those engagement. They don't want to go off the script just yet. Probably what's working for them is the 15-minute mark, and that's where they start getting those frags. But for AG, great position for them, trying to move out of the way and clear view of Ffwc.
And I cannot believe they escaped unscathed too. AG didn't get punished at all. In fact, both Ffwc and AG Global are turning their attention onto the deserted, isolated members of E1 Esports who have not been able to catch a break today. Ffwc gets to move away from danger and maybe even pick up a few points along the way onto E1 members who are basically just trying to survive. That grenade landing on the beam and knock him down as R7 now pulls the trigger, and they are the ones on the aggressive end. Can GOW hold them back? The glue wall goes down, the end comes in big time, and R7 stops dead in their tracks.
Choker remaining, and not so much a 10 beat done, but it's such a risky move right there, and probably it's a timing and communication that was off because R7 moved as soon as they jumped in, dove through on those grenades, and there's a huge break in that, and I think Game King is the one receiving that damage, but Dion bringing back the Charge Buster, starting that fight between them and R7 and still ending it.
Circle's closing in. Vitin XP is holding one of the areas that Ffwc wants to go towards. GOW finds a breathing space with focus on the horizon if they go for this rotation. Ffwc once more touches down at a checkpoint. Evo's Divine right in front of them. They want to move directly into the circle. There is PE Sports and also Team Solid to contend with Russia. With the opener on the bombs. Reptile Rhythm coming through. Ffwc cannot hold up against the White Tigers in this exchange. And Evo's Divine have bet down on Ffwc.
Slowly dwindling the numbers of Ffwc, probably denying them a possible grabbing that champion rush condition. But Ffwc will need to move because Evo is also moving. Target still on them, but close to them is BRU. This might be the saving grace for Ffwc. Evo's Divine right now rushes through. Things are being thrown, skills being used, and there goes Avegod. But Gold Shield's the one who brings the rusher from BRU down. Quick pick up being done by the Get High, and he's the one who is now on the ground.
The grenade launchers, they're doing work. BRU, they're back on their feet. Rain needs to be able to pull it through. But Buriram United stand strong, and they get the wipe.
And they wipe the floor with Evos from that battle. But for MT7, oh my goodness, spotted, search, and it seems like he will not survive another cryo mine. And there goes Ffwc out on 9. And we still are not seeing them grabbing the champion rush condition.
The window has closed for Ffwc, but it is still open for BRU and AG if they can make a monstrous run. With BRU having a higher chance of success. Full squad left, AG Global down 1, a bye. Good edge on to Quaksha, but Team Solid should be able to bring it back up. We have 24/7 members left on the map, so plenty of bodies to collect. Putting the body back for BRU if they are out for points. Does grenade launcher in hand to get narrow. PE Sports now tasting the Indonesian spices. LBT, do you want to take up this fight against 18? Diama out, barricading himself behind the glue wall, and Abai is able to back him out whenever needed. A nade from downtown, focused elimination on the GOW as RRQ continues to hold back PE.
And GOW being taken out of a nade, deep freeze, and everything else. But for RRQ, grenade launcher from the one and only Dudes, reducing them to only 2 damages received. Team Solid seems like they are being liquefied at this point.
RRQ needs some time. Ma'ao finally back up on his feet, as this is where it's crunch time for the remaining 6 teams. BRU and Falcons also about to clash in the 4v4. Ma'ao takes an explosion, but the shrapnel doesn't take him down, and Abai continues to hold back Team Solid. Peace was encroaching in the area. 18 Gear needs to back up as the blue zone is really starting to sting, but RQ still have priority over who gets the pass as BRU dismantles Falcons. Their wings are no more. BRU with 9 points and counting.
Wings flip and stuck to 4, but the movement still continues for RRQ. Team Solid trap has been dropped and taken down. Hackno tries to fly through, but Dudes is a little bit too strong. Same goes with Mal, and there goes the monster truck, hiding them, using it as if it was a blue wall. PE Sports slowly being dealt with by Korea United, and let's see who's going to win this battle. Either way, they will need to face a giant, and that giant is BRU.
13 eliminations. They have a good chance of unlocking 80 points by the end of this. The field is clear.
BRU
the field right in front of them. BRU against 3 remaining survivors of RRQ Kazu. The Kingdom watches with bated breath. They could be witnesses to the royalty being felt by the united BRU. The circle is going to shift, and BRU once more makes the first move. RRQ, what is the answer? Because BRU are encroaching. The A124 connects. Dudes is disabled for now, and RRQ, Ma'ao doesn't have a clear shot.
No clear shot. Ma'ao repositions, and he might be the next target. Being seen by Jonah. A little bit of AC-80 or an M79 might be his downfall. There goes the glue wall mirror, clearing it out. The distraction for the team, as Dudes right now will be rushing in. And this is where Captain Dukes can cook and probably take them down in one swoop.
Prepare for the potential rush. Red Tide Rhythm doesn't really expose Get High though. He's a bit too far away from the glue wall that he's hiding behind. And BRU, they love these kind of games. They want to play hide and seek. They will take up space. Feels like they're playing checkers, and BRU is playing chess. RRQ has info but cannot act upon it. Ma'ao again trying to draw the attention of BRU's main force away from Dudes and Abai, but BRU, they are not budging.
Let's see though on what would happen next. Seems like BRU right now, glue walls fortified, and also the shift would be happening. And there you go, the timing is pristine. Backstab, but that trap mine, that trip mine right there could have saved RRQ from being annihilated. And Morera United out. RRQ for that booyah.
RRQ Kazu saves the kingdom, and long live the king on Solara. A sacrificial play from Dudes, worthy of a Hall of Fame moment to bring RRQ Kazu that booyah and secure the first ever booyah for Indonesia in the finals. Could not have been more poetic. We were asking for it. Evil's Divine came close, but RRQ finished what was started, and now the game is truly on.
What a smart move from the mastermind themselves, and I'm really loving how that final moment just turned things around. And it might be a denial of Brim United as well in grabbing that coveted champion rush condition for this grand finals, but this just brings RRQ back in play for that challenge.
They are going the full distance. We did say it'd be nice if you play all 10 games. It'd be a shame if we didn't get to enjoy it to the fullest extent at the Indonesia arena. But we have to rewatch this Booyah last shot out. In this case, the Booyah's final trip mine. Just pure heroics from the captain of the kingdom. And he leads his empire to the first ever win. And how can you not be elated after that kind of victory?
And one thing that I was expecting, I mean, Dudes in the front lines, you would know he would cook. But I didn't see that nade being tossed out, being held, and I didn't expect it was a trip mine that he's cooking. So he's not just cooking, he's making a barbecue. He just started that fire, and the moment the Brim United went in, it just exploded in their face.
And that goes back to the habits of BRU of liking to take up space. And it's not to say that it's the wrong move, but it makes a lot of sense, right? You want to be able to choke out your opponents, eliminate the playing field.